So at the time of recording, we're officially, in my head, being spring.
Oh.
No, not at the time of recording. I lie. At the time this goes out.
Airing.
Because it's going to be the 19th of March.
Yes.
And that, to me, is then... Because it goes to... There's two different calendars.
Oh, yeah, we've
there's
spoke about this
says,
before.
Yeah. There's one where it says it's like meteorological. Or something like that. something like that, yeah. One that says from the 1st of March. One that says from, like, mid-March. Oh, I think it's mid-March.
Yeah.
I think it makes more sense.
Actually, the 19th of March is my mother-in-law's 70th birthday as well.
Oh, big one.
Big
shall we get
7-0.
started?
Let's do it.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Hayley.
And we are your wedding planning experts.
Here to spill the tea on the inside of wedding planning and everything that goes with it.
Expect our honest opinions, the real juice on what happens on a wedding day.
With a few tips thrown in between.
And also just a chat between friends.
And of course, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And
let's get you wed. I feel like we are starting to come into wedding season though, because I'm not yet, but all I'm seeing is suppliers like, oh my God, I'm starting to get busy.
Mine starts like first week of April. Actually, over Easter weekend. Yeah,
that's when
it's a big one.
Honestly, I used to always find after Easter, that's when it starts.
That's when it hits.
That's when it goes. How are you anyway? How's your week?
Yeah, no, I'm good, thank you. I am busy with Mother's Day flowers at the moment. So Mother's Day is the next big event on the florist calendar.
It's just another thing,
It's another thing, and it's really close to Valentine's Day as well. So,
and my mum's birthday's in February as well.
Yeah,
so
is my mum. Like I say, my
my
mother-in-law's got a big birthday this year, so it's like it's expensive couple of months, I'll tell you. But it's busy. So I've got quite a lot of orders coming now. So I find that it sort of comes in dribs and drabs, and then this week, like I've noticed, like overnight, I've had like orders coming in on my web shop and stuff where people are obviously like, I better get my mum's.
Is it this Sunday as in at the time of recording?
Yes.
Okay, so when this goes out, it'll be done and dusted.
Yeah, it'll be done and dusted. Yeah, but
fine, so I need to send a card. Thanks. For the reminder.
This is your reminder from the past. So just been keeping up with that, and orders in general. Actually, I've had quite a few just bouquets, like lots of babies being born at the moment, so lots of bouquets for that, and then going to be freelancing when this goes out.
I was then thinking like, what bouquets for the baby?
Oh yeah, like yeah.
I was like, what?
Congrats, you've been born.
Oh,
so but I'm finding, like, in terms of Mother's Day colours, like I'm doing loads of purple. It's got loads of purple stock in at the moment. So we do a bit of a different vibe. Normally people go for like pink and white, but it's purples and yellows and sort of like really nice sort of dark pink, so I'm quite pleased about that actually. And just one other thing as well I wanted to say, because I've started doing this myself, but if any summer brides are listening and they want to grow flowers themselves, a couple of bits and bobs, obviously we're speaking about decor today, so if one of the things is that you maybe want to do your own like flower, I don't know, grow your own bits and bobs.
We're talking decor, guys, not flowers though.
Decor. Well, flowers are decor in some scenario. Without flowers, there is no decor.
I do think they're a separate.
No, they are
entity,
separate.
though.
They are separate, but
you need decor and flowers. So
you do.
To me, that's two, and it's two different suppliers. If you
I've also believe that you should have two separate. But so if you are wanting to DIY a couple of your own flowers or anything like that, then now is the time to be planting your seeds.
Okay, nice.
Yes, so things like between March and May, basically, you want to be getting those seeds out and ready to be like cut flowers for summer brides. So
nice.
Just a note to those people.
We had a marquee wedding. I can't remember. Was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. And the mum got these massive wicker baskets from garden centres and was growing loads of bits in them to put at like the poles of the sailcloth tent, and they looked really cool. But it was quite stressful for her because she was like, she'd planted all the seeds and then she was like, oh my God, are they actually going to grow and then they're going to flower and they're going to open at the right time? But it was a bit stressful for her because she was like, are they going to flower at the right time? Are they going to look good? But they did look really, really nice.
Yeah, that's the only thing with it is if you are like betting on them. Like I've done weddings before where they've like the mum wanted to grow all of the sweet peas I used for the wedding, and it was sweet pea heavy. Let me tell you. She did herself, but you got to kind of take care.
Yeah.
risk with that. But yeah, so anyway, that's my week. That's my week. How has yours been?
Yeah, good. Yeah, busy as always,
Yes.
of course. I will say, first up, everyone's saying Wuthering Heights film of the year until you go see Peaky Blinders.
Oh my God.
So good.
Me and Richard are rewatching it. We're rewatching it we're on series 3 again. I've already rewatched it twice before, but I absolutely love it so much. So
good.
Oh
Film
my
is really
God.
good. Very sad. One of them at the end where you sit there and you're like, did that just happen?
like
But I
Wuthering
won't give
Heights
any
for me.
spoilers.
Where I sat and cried.
Yeah, like you'll definitely
I'll cry
this
then,
one.
yeah.
Oh
dear.
But yeah, no, I feel like it's the era of like really like dark films and
Yeah.
stuff at the minute. Like obviously like Wuthering Heights, Peaky Blinders, quite
Gothic.
dark. The Bride is coming out soon.
Oh
Frankenstein's
yes,
Bride.
I like the look of that.
Yeah, no, not for me.
Not for
It looks
you.
a bit freaky. And when she's like coming out the ground.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff, like, no, not for me. Yeah, no. We also did a wedding fair. We don't really the only time we really do wedding fairs is when they are like at venues that we recommend planners at.
Yeah.
So this is a new venue for us. I spoke about it before. Hinchinbrook House or School.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying.
In Huntingdon. Yeah, so they're now gonna newly be offering weddings, but since I last saw it, they've already like repainted one of the rooms like this nice dark green colour. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
nice. Yeah, very excited for that. So we're actually doing a styled shoot there for them just to get some imagery for their brochures and stuff. We're doing that in May, so yeah, that'll be nice. So yeah, that was good. Good event to go to, and more for us to just kind of look around and like get some ideas for the shoot and whatever. And I was also in London yesterday, so I actually went to scout out a venue which is literally down the road from Islington Town Hall.
Oh, okay.
And it's called Bubba Oasis, and it's basically like it's a cafe in the day, it's a bar at night. Well, and in the day, I suppose. And they have like DJs and stuff and entertainment and whatever. And it's like a rooftop bar in Islington,
That's really
in
cool.
Angel. It's literally 5-minute walk from Angel tube station. And they offer weddings and stuff, so they clear it all out and do weddings. And it's like the perfect venue if you want that. Islington Town Hall, and then go and like have a big party. You're not too like over worried about having a nice stately home or aesthetics. You just want a cool London party.
Yeah.
And it's actually
Vibes.
really good prices because they do all the catering and stuff. So a lot of it, the venue hire is actually really low cost. Like it can be as low as like £600.
Bloody
But
hell.
then you have a minimum spend on top for food. But you'd be paying for food anyway. So I thought that was really good.
That's actually really good.
Yeah,
that is.
So I think the most it is even like on a Saturday in like peak season was like 18,000 with the minimum spend of the food and drink, but you're getting all your food and drink for that.
That's actually good. Yeah.
Yeah, but even like midweek out of season was like as low as like $5,000 or something.
God.
Like yeah, so I thought that was
so
really really
good.
good.
Yeah.
And it's just a really nice area, Angel. I really like Angel. So we did that, and then we've got a couple getting married at the Savoy in May. So we
that's
then went there.
exciting.
Yeah, did a
Such
site
a nice
visit.
venue.
I know. Did a site visit with the photographer. We've got like a live painter.
Oh,
coming, which is called doing the guest illustration.
Love that.
So she came just to like scout out spots and whatever.
Yeah.
So the bride is the nicest bride ever as well. She's really nice, and I swear to God, she looks like Margot Robbie.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
You literally look at her and you're like,
Doppelganger.
Margot Robbie. Does
Yeah.
she walk past?
Hello.
I know. So at the Savoy and big dress.
Oh,
so
yeah, has to
very
be.
giving the cool vibe.
Yeah. Love that.
Margot Robbie vibes. So,
Love it.
yeah,
That'll be
that's
so
gonna a really,
nice.
really
Can't
good
wait to see
wedding.
the pictures from that.
Yes, big wedding as well. He's Sri Lankan, so
Oh,
big
okay.
wedding. They're having Indian food. Like it's just like all the things I love, like rolled into one. Like nice bride, stunning dress, love the
Yeah.
venue, love Indian food.
So you're like passionate
They're
about
having
this one.
having the big red British buses.
Oh, yeah.
like
Are they staying there? Are they
Excited.
guests staying
Yes.
there? And that, yeah. That'll be cool.
Yeah, and she's staying there to like get ready in the morning and whatever. So I've got another couple staying there this year as well. They're getting married down the road, but you can't stay there. So they get married at Middle Temple. So they're staying at the Savoy as well.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I do like a bit of the Savoy. It's very nice.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And also speaking of films,
Oh, yes.
we're aware that coming out Well, I'm only just aware. I
Yeah. I was like unaware, so
yeah, we both
we're
were.
both unaware, but now aware.
Yeah, but the film The Drama is coming out in a couple of weeks, so guys, make sure you get down to the cinemas, watch it. Me and Hayley are going to be going down, watching it, and then we will review it.
Report back.
I mean, we don't know how much it is going to be related to us, I suppose. I mean, all it says is that obviously it's about them in the process of planning their wedding. Some drama happens and it causes issues. Could be really related and really we could give some really good feedback on it. Or it could be that it's like, I don't know, someone gets murdered.
Who's in it?
That Zendaya.
Yes, of course it is. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I know. Now you've said that, I know I've seen the trailer a couple of times actually, but I just never. I don't know. It's not like some films come out with like a big
oh my god, this has come out. Yeah, I haven't really heard.
I haven't, but I have seen the trailer, and I think it might have been when I went to watch Wuthering Heights that I saw the trailer. To be fair,
maybe. Yeah, I don't really listen to. I don't really.
No, otherwise,
really, but
yeah.
So I mean, it just says that there's like a big drama that happens, a deep dark secret.
Yes.
So I don't know. Could be a really good one to like talk about and be relatable to
maybe
things that people go through, or it could be completely unrelatable.
Yeah, like I accidentally murdered someone.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
maybe not.
It's a drama, so it's not gonna be anything like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway. But yes, this week, guys, we are talking all about decor. I know that it's been requested quite a lot. Yeah. We also put it out on our Instagram. So I've got some bits to go through first, and then we'll go into kind of the things that you guys are asking about. It might be that we've already answered that in like what we're going through now. But I'm going to kind of kick it off first with talking about ceremony decor. So I suppose this is really like depends where you're getting married. I mean, most spaces, regardless if you're getting married in a venue, in a church, you've got some sort of front area where the couple stand.
Yes.
Then you've got chairs or pews or whatever.
Focal area.
With an aisle down the middle. Yeah. Is pretty standard. If you get married outside, same kind of thing. So I think in terms of decor, we'll just brush over this briefly with ceremony, because I don't think it's probably something we need to go into depth with it. But I mean, most of my couples decor wise, so we're purely talking about decor today. So the things that I've seen and before is like, like your lanterns down the aisles.
Yeah, candles are lovely, aren't they? Because they give you like a bit more of an ambience. I think I quite like them. I quite like.
But I do think you've got to be careful, because I've also seen a lot of people do the cylinder vases with the pillar candles, but they're so easy to get knocked.
Yeah,
if you've got a big dress, they're just going to drag them and knock them over.
I feel so true.
But there are some really good candles. A decor company that I know really well, actually, in Northamptonshire, they have them, and they're these ones that it's almost got like they're like, I don't even know, like lights, the wick lights, but it's like almost like a sand texture. So if it knocks over, they just go out, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
But they look like candles.
They're really good. So the wick, basically, say you got your cylinder, you fill it with the wax sand. Yeah. You get the wick, you put the wick in, so you leave about an inch on top. So what happens is you light it. So in terms of cleaning as well, this is why it's really good. You literally blow it out, you let it dry, you pull it out, it pulls out like almost like a tea light shape of candle. And then you just empty the wax back out.
That's cool.
Clean. And also, like you say, it's less of a fire hazard. So that I don't know wax sand.
What is it? Wax
sand. And my wholesalers now have started doing it in different scents, different colours. So it used to just be that you could get it in white, but now you can get it in all sorts of colours.
Yeah, it is wax sand. It's natural.
Yeah.
Question on that, actually, that people might want to know. Wholesalers, can you just rock in?
No.
Could you just rock in and buy? Right, okay,
no,
you've got to be a business.
You need to be a business, yeah. Some places are not as like strict on it, but a lot of them are. You don't have to be VAT registered, but you need to be like a registered business, like they'll ask for business address and stuff. So that's why.
Because like with building merchants, you can normally go in and be like, I'm a business, and just like give me your address and say, I'm self-employed.
You could probably set up an account. You could try and set up an account. They're a little bit more strict now, because basically what they don't want.
It does make sense, because it's shite for you as a vendor, isn't
it?
Like, I'm getting discount prices. I'm actually a business and you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, we'll not advise people.
Don't do that. But if you know somebody,
don't do that, but buy it off Amazon.
yeah, exactly. yeah. Dear. Also, instead of like the sand wax, the wax sand. You get I've seen now you get the obviously you get LED tea lights, candles, whatever. But you can get ones that are like remote controlled. And they flicker, but they're not as nice as a real candle. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of like if you are not allowed real flame, they're not.
See, I'm
just think real flame or nothing.
I actually actively thought I'm not even going to mention LED candles because
not the tacky ones though. I really don't like that.
Bad.
Do you? Okay, I've seen some lately that are not as bad. In photos, they don't look.
But if we're talking couples that want to do it themselves, they're really expensive to buy. So I think if you're getting a decor company in, and this is where the pros are of using a decor company, and people go, oh, but they're so much more expensive than, you know, the LED candles that I've seen on
there's a reason.
IKEA or on Amazon. Like these decor companies but you do need to check because I've seen decor companies with horrific LED candles.
Oh my God.
And I do think it makes such a difference.
No, I agree.
Think like if you're gonna have them, do them properly because it will just make your wedding look.
You need to not have cool white. If anyone turns up with a cool white light, you need to just sack them off. If anyone shows you,
got to be warm.
Got to be a warm white,
like
guys.
an actual flight. Flight. Like an actual flame.
Flame, yeah.
Because a flame is like warm white, isn't it?
Just
like
cool
creamy,
white
like
really
orange.
gets under my skin. They only have a place at Christmas as far as I'm concerned. And even then,
I just don't. I'll be really honest. I don't understand the LED candle vibe. If I'm honest, if you're not allowed candles, you don't have candles.
Yeah,
that's
fair,
in my
fair.
head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think, why are we trying to recreate something like that? You know. I don't know.
I guess if you're really like really want it, like if you
then
are,
you don't book a venue that could.
That's true.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like
a lot of places allow them as well, so I feel like now, but I know a lot of people that have LED even though you're allowed real, and I'm like, what's that about? What are you doing?
What really irritates me is when you go to a venue and you're like, but why?
But why?
Do you not offer
like
candles?
What are you burning down in this like stone room?
Yeah. And you're like, every venue I know of similar nature to yours allows them.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Anyway, so ceremony decor. But yeah, I mean, if you go in, obviously, we could go into loads of different ideas if we were talking flowers, and we'll have to do a whole.
Yeah, we do a separate one for flowers. That's fine.
But yeah, decor-wise, down the aisle, I don't think there's like masses you can do. You could just do like trailing foliage and stuff. I know that goes into like the florist regime, but I mean,
you can go and forage yourself. Like, there's nothing stopping you from going out and cutting down.
Or buying foliage. Or a lot of people are using faux. I do think for you faux foliage, if you get decent stuff, you can get away with more than faux flowers.
I went through a stage where people were doing lots of like rather, obviously at the moment we do like lots of runners of flat florals, but like just having foliage literally laid down the aisle instead, and it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't add anything because it's dark, it's green, like it's lost. I mean, you might as well just have leaves on the floor. Well, it is leaves on the floor, but do you know what I mean? It doesn't add anything. More like
hanging on the chair. You've got pews.
Yes,
that would look quite cool.
Yeah, I just went for a stage where people were like, I just really want it down the aisle, like laid on the floor, and I was just like, oh, okay. Obviously, I'll do whatever you want, but it's not gonna.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
But ribbons as well on chairs.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot.
Cute. Yeah, nice little tied ribbons. Yeah, but I do think if you've got a really nice ceremony space, don't go too crazy. And I do think ceremony spaces are suited to flowers. There's not masses you can do.
That's not, fair. So, what about kind of like order of the day and things like that for decor on your ceremony?
Yeah, I mean, order of the day you don't tend to have in your ceremony. You have order of service.
Like order of service, sorry. Yeah,
so
that's
order
what
of
I
service
mean.
Booklets
sorry.
is for the church.
Yeah.
You'd have those, but they just go on the chairs or at the front and people have picked them up, so they wouldn't say they're like decor.
Have you seen people doing those newspapers where it's like the wedding post? And it's
we've had them quite a few times. Yeah, they're quite cool. But again, they're just something that you give out and people pick up. I wouldn't say that they
add much decoration-wise. Fair.
Right, so let's go on to table decor now. So talking about table decor, I'm going to start from from the base, from where you would build it from. So tables, chairs, obviously looking at what your venue offer. In the UK, we tend to offer, and I think we spoke about this recently in an episode, but your options generally are banqueting tables, which are long straight tables, round tables, and serpentine.
Caterpillar.
What? No, that's different.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
serpentine tables are like a 90-degree curve, so you can make some different shapes out of those. But the most common one is an actual serpentine. So yeah, you've got a couple of different options. Then speak to your venue, or speak to your marquee company, speak to whoever's doing your tables and chairs to get an understanding of what tables you want to have and what layout. Some people are doing like a mix of longs and rounds now, which is nice. Some people want a long top table and then rounds. There's all different options you can have. Some people have like what we call like an E, so at the top is like the side of a capital E along the top table, and then you've got like bits like sprigs is what we call, like coming off of them.
I guess that's a way of kind of mixing it up a bit, isn't it? If just simply by changing the layout of your table, actually you could transform a room, right?
And make different. And also, I was talking to a venue about this recently, but it really depends on the venue space as to what works well in there, and you're best to just have a conversation with your venue. And sometimes I know people like to be different, but also sometimes the reason people are always going for the same layout is because that's what's feasible, right?
Totally.
So make that decision, and also double check about what chairs your venue offers.
Oh my god,
massive, because that is key.
Yeah,
something like that, you think that's chair, that's furniture, but actually anything like a chair can be related into your decor because it does make the look of a room.
Yeah. Sure.
If your venue has really bad chairs, just hire in. They're basic. Yes, they're not the most comfortable, but not sat on them for very long. But a Chiavari chair is very basic. It's very neutral, and they're very just easy and cheap, low cost.
Yeah, they are a good way of just changing it up, aren't they?
Yeah, and just making it a little bit more presentable and just look a bit nicer, a bit cleaner, fresher.
Have you had any couples this year that are having, other than Chiavari, like different kind of chair?
Yeah.
Have you? What have you got?
The Louis medallion is obviously so popular. Nice. Actually, Savoy have like the off-white medallion chairs as standard.
They do, yeah. Nice.
We've also got a couple that are having like the rattan back Louis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in like the wood, the oak colour, the oak colour ones. And then we've got another couple having those, but in the lime wash. And one of my couples are currently looking at having the bentwood chair.
Oh,
they're like
right.
a dark wood. And they're like kind of like, I'd say like Parisian, like bistro.
I know what you mean.
Chair.
Yeah.
But there's so many different options now of chairs, and there's some really good like furniture companies out there, like Velvet Living, Wedhead. Those.
I love Wedhead.
Yeah, House of Fern. Like they're offering some really good.
I feel like there's so much you can get in now. Yeah, so cool.
I know. And yes, it's an extra cost. And if you're looking to go, if you're budgeting and you're on like quite a tight budget, just either go hiring a Chiavari or
it's just
use your venues
when you turn up.
Please, just to add to this. Sorry, I just needed to quickly add in there because I will forget. Do not put chair covers on your chairs.
Oh!
By the time you've paid for a chair cover, I'm not gonna go on any more about it. I'm just gonna throw that in. Don't use a chair cover. Hiring a Chiavari is exactly the same cost.
I can second that. They look awful.
Moving on. Next up so once you've got your table configuration, you're like, this is how we're going to lay it out, make that decision, then you'll look at your linens. Again, speak to your catering company, speak to your venue, see what colours they've got. Like white linen obviously is very common. A lot of people use white linen. Some catering companies, like there's a venue I work with quite often, and the caterer will offer an ivory, and the walls are like that sage green, like
so actually
the skirting isn't white, it's like an off-white, so ivory looks really
it's gonna warm
nice
it up a bit,
there.
isn't it? Yeah. It's not so stark.
And you put white and ivory together, it doesn't look that different. But actually, when you put it on the tables, it just does. Exactly like you've just said, it warms it slightly. It's not, like, whoa, bright white.
What?
But also, depending on your colour schemes, linen's a really low-cost way. Again, you wouldn't probably relate linen to decor, but it is all part of your decor.
Definitely.
So it's a base place to start at. So look at some coloured linens. There's some really great companies out there that offer it, that you like 88 events. You've got Occasion Linen. There's quite a few
Just
if you
for
have a look
linen.
Online. Just for linen, you got Just for Linen.
Yeah,
so 88 events and Occasion Linen I really like using because they post it to you in these big boxes.
Oh, okay. That's
comes
cool.
to your door, so you can either get them to you or get them to the venue, and then you use the linen, and then you fold it back up into the boxes. You don't need to wash it or anything, and you send it back.
Yeah.
And it's because it's posted, it's quite a low delivery charge.
That's actually pretty good, because I know with the one when I got mine for my wedding, I had to go and pick it up and drop it back, which was a bit of a bummer.
do courier, but it's more money.
Yeah.
You can get it couriered, but courier is obviously a lot more money.
But I totally agree, because I honestly feel like by changing the cut, I mean, I went for a peony pink. It was called peony pink, and it was textured, and it was a heavy, really nice.
You had the
cloth.
Urbane.
That's it.
You had
the Urbane peony.
Urbane.
Oh, and it just transformed it. It really made a difference.
Yeah,
I honestly was like, wow, you know, who would have thought, you know, change a tablecloth? But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I had a dark green.
Yeah, yours. Yeah, so nice. Yeah, loved yours.
Just adds a vibe.
It does.
I just think, imagine my wedding with white linen. Like how different that would have looked. It'd been completely different.
Would have been
vibe.
completely different. Yeah.
And the room, and actually, white does work well in where I got married, because it's like got like a stony grey wall, like really light.
And it's very light and
really
open.
light space. Yeah, but that's what I did. I wanted to deepen it down a little bit,
and that really helped, didn't it?
Yeah. Completely different vibe.
Loved it.
So linen's really important. Textures of linen's important. Colours. So have a think about your colour schemes. And also, a lot of these companies will send you like little samples. So you can get like samples sent to you in the post, and then you can kind of like they might even send you one cloth so you can set up a table and check you like it at the venue. But yeah, I'm all for linen, and there's so many companies now that offered patterned linen as well.
Yes. I have never done a wedding with patterned linen. Patterned linen. And I really want to see it done.
Yeah,
I
so
really
nice.
do.
Really, really nice. Also, just to mention, obviously, napkin colour. So when you I'd decide your table linen first. I do think it's nice to contrast your napkin to your tablecloth. I think if you do the napkin the same colour, it can look a little bit lost.
Yep.
But it depends how bothered you are. Like if you have got quite a lot, if you've got like charger plates going down and menu cards and things like that, you don't necessarily need the napkin to stand out. But if you aren't having charger plates, I would definitely advise to do a different colour napkin, just to really like make each place set and pop, and it can look really nice. So then again, you'll need to get your 2 different kind of linen colour samples and make sure that they do actually match and work together.
Yeah.
And also deciding how you want the napkin folded. So there's loads of different ways. There's a really good company called the Knotted Napkin Company. And they, and they literally do what they say on the tin. So they're like knotted napkins.
Yeah.
So you know the ones with the knot in the middle, but they're that thinner. So you can't hire a standard napkin and do the knot in the middle, because it's just not that same.
I can imagine.
Like cheesecloth.
Yeah.
Kind of
I
effect.
understand.
You need them
saying.
thinner.
Yeah,
they need to be a thinner kind of material for it to look well and drape properly. So they're a good option if you want that kind of thing. But if you're having like the normal, like stiffer napkins, you can do like a flat fold, which is just like a rectangle on the place setting, or an over, what we call like a I can't think off the top of my head now, but it basically flows over the table.
And it comes over.
Yeah, it goes over.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
flat fold overhang, I think we call it, something like
that.
Yeah, but do check with your venue, because some venues do horrific napkin folds, like the old school fan and things like that, and you just no.
That reminds me of a Chinese buffet restaurant.
You've said that before.
It does though, doesn't it? It's like, I know exactly what you mean.
Very, very popular back in 2010.
Yeah, that's it. Not anymore.
Then building up from there, we go on to tableware. So make sure you're checking with your venue what kind of plates they use, what cutlery they're using. Cutlery, most venues will have silver.
Yeah.
It's very rare they'll have gold. If you're going for a gold colour theme, make sure you're hiring gold cutlery. Don't mix metal.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm pretty sure we had someone write a questioning about this. Should they mix? I definitely don't mix metals. It really bugs me. That's why I hide all my cutlery in gold.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you had gold cutlery, didn't you? Yeah, nice. I do think gold cutlery isn't as popular anymore. I think people are tending to stick to the silver. But just bear it in mind if you do want gold. Like, or you're having like gold vases or something like that, even though it's centre of the table, it needs to all match. And again with chargers as well.
I remember looking when I was getting married, and there was loads. It was quite popular around the time to have that kind of like oyster shell kind of on the handles. So like there's like
the
pearl. That's it.
We've got a couple having that. For a wedding
it's nice though. It's just because I think if you're having silver, that would really it's just another way of kind of like you say, like decorating without like using. It's simple, isn't it? Right? Yeah. A simple switch. Yes,
but it all adds.
But it adds to the aesthetic. Totally. Yeah.
And there's some amazing, lovely cutlery out there nowadays.
Yeah.
Duchess and Butler's a really good one to look at. Yeah. And again, it is a bit, higher budget wise, but there are smaller decor companies that will offer it slightly cheaper. Again, your catering company might offer some different options, so make sure you find those out, but make sure you are finding out and you are looking at these kind of things.
I feel like if you're having a more intimate wedding or a smaller guest number and you kind of want to elevate things, I feel like doing things like this with your tableware is a way that you could still have a really big impact, but on a smaller scale, like perhaps put your budget into things like that.
Yeah, definitely. And also you've got like your coloured glassware options, like the coloured goblets. We had a wedding last year that had all like multicoloured goblets. They were really cool. Patterned china, like your patterned dinner plates, things like that, which we'll kind of go on to in a minute about dinner plates. But so there's loads of different options now that you can bring those in to your colour schemes and things like that. But all of these things, I think our point is that it all adds to your decor.
Yeah.
That's all associated as
100%.
So definitely things to think about, and make sure that you are finding out because I just feel like it's something that people just don't always worry about, and then on the day it's like it just looks a bit mismatched.
Yeah.
You're so focused on the centerpiece that you didn't
think about it. Yeah, no, that's very true. Like you say, making sure that you find out with your venue early on, like what actually is included, what colour it is, what comes as standard, and then go from there.
Cool. So charger plates. I feel like we had a few questions in about this, but charger plates, pros and cons. So charger plates look lovely. If you're having a 3-course meal that's being served to the table, great. They'll pop them down on a charger plate. You do need to potentially change the plates depending on what plates your catering company offer. So, for example, a catering company I work with a lot, they have like an oblong plates. Well, they don't sit well on charger plates, so you have to swap them around. No extra cost, but just to make you aware that if your caterer has got really nice plates, you might not want to worry about chargers. What I would say is that charger plates are great if you've got quite big tables and your food is being physically served, because all you would be serving a plate to is it's literally just cutlery with a napkin in the middle, so it does add something. But if you're having sharing food, so the plate is already on the table, if your caterer already offers like fairly nice plates, even if they're just a white plate, and they're not too like basic, that can just look nice in itself. You don't then necessarily need the charger. And sometimes actually having the plate already set up, I've had couples before that have hired chargers, they really want the charger plate, but then it's sharing, so we have to put the plates down, and actually it hides a bit of the charger.
That's true, yeah. So it kind of defeats the object of having it.
Yeah. But charger plates take up a lot of space. What I'll always say is don't have bread plates. I remember yours being this. I turned up at the venue and they'd set all the charger plates and bread plates, and I was like, absolutely not.
No,
no. They were like just white standard china plates next to like charger plates. Just looked weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a bright white plate on like this pink tablecloth was it gold? I think you had gold rimmed chargers, didn't you? Yeah. So I was like, no, it don't work. It doesn't.
See you later, mate.
Work. Yeah, and it takes up even more space. It was so tight on your tables. So you don't need a bread plate, because you can just put the bread roll. I mean, you can just have them in the centre table, or you can have them just on the charger plate. Is what I did at your wedding.
Well, exactly. I mean, I'm not being funny, but also, what is this thing about a bread roll? It's like, why do we have one? Do you know what I mean? Like when you have a 3-course meal, because you wouldn't have one.
I do love the bread roll.
I do. Don't get me wrong. Sorry,
but you wouldn't have one at home.
But do you know what I mean? It's just sort of like, we have to make space for the bread roll plate.
And what's quite funny as well is like, say you have your bread roll, like I think it makes sense if you're having soup, but if you're having like pate and then it comes with bread as well,
then you're like carving out.
Carving out. Yeah, I agree with that. Actually. I've never really thought about it, because I do love a bread roll.
I do. But like no shade.
It's a good point.
Especially when they're warm. That's like that is proper nice.
Yeah. If you're not having charger plates, a bread plate does look really nice, though. It sets it off lovely. But with a charger plate, no. The other, they do take up space. You have to be really wary of charger plates with long tables. If you've got long banqueting tables and they're 2.5 foot wide, which most standard are, you can get 3 foot wide ones. But if you need to check, because if you put 2 charger plates opposite each other and then your dessert cutlery at the top, it's literally touching each other.
Yeah.
So you literally
So
have
tight.
nothing down the centre. Like no space.
Oh dear.
So you do need to look at that. And quite often with banqueting tables, I do actually say to my couples, no,
don't have them. Yeah,
because it's too tight. Yeah,
totally.
If you're having rounds, great. And charger plates really fill round tables and make them look really good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Say if you're having rounds.
Yeah.
But again, you do need to check the size of your round tables because 5 foot rounds, a lot tighter. You can fit less people. So again, we work at venues where it's like you've got to have 10 on the table because you have 100 guests. You can only fit 10 tables. Well, if you want 10 on a table, you can't fit 10 with charger plates because they take up more space. So
yeah, that's so true.
Just something to bear in mind. So a way that I have space saved before with a couple that really wanted the charger plates was we did a flat fold napkin with a pocket. It's always called a pocket fold napkin, and we put the cutlery in the pocket. On the charger plate.
Yeah,
so the charger plates were basically touching each other to fit in this room. But yeah.
But it still looks good.
It.
Yeah. You can make it work if you need to.
Exactly. So yeah, but just find out about these dining plate options as well. Again, your caterer or your venue might be able to hire in something a bit nicer, or you can hire in, and they are cheaper than charger plates. So if you're doing your sharing food, which a lot of people are now, you can do that. Okay, and then looking at centerpieces now. We're going on to the centerpiece.
Yes.
So ideas now for what we're doing, centerpiece-wise. Let's start with long tables, shall we?
Yeah, okay.
So we're doing a long table.
Yep.
We only want decor.
Well,
ideas.
Yes, I think really the first thing that comes to mind to me, the snod flowers, obviously, I would say is probably going to be like candleware.
Yeah, nice taper.
I
like a nice tall taper candles with a bit of foliage down the centre.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot.
You don't. I also
the benefit of a long table.
Yeah, and have coloured candles because that's gonna really elevate 100%. Things. Like again, same as changing like your cutlery or your linen or whatever the colour. Something simple as like, I mean, to be honest with you, like from my perspective with the wholesale price and stuff, like having a coloured candle compared to a white one, it's exactly the same price. So you might as well change that.
Yeah, and you can get really good candles on Amazon and stuff like that. Quite often you get mine off there. I love the crystal cut candle holders as well.
Oh, yeah,
they're really
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really nice. But yeah, foliage, I know, again, that goes down the line of a florist.
Yeah.
Foliage.
It does and it doesn't. You can get, like we said, you can get it yourself. I think you might want to pick the brains of a florist just to see what's going to last, because not everything lasts well out of water, because that's what you've got to think about when the last thing you want to do is go, for example, your wedding's on this Saturday, you got Friday access, you lay out your table, you put your foliage down, you turn up Saturday, it's all wilted.
Yeah. And I also think people think it's a lot easier to just bunch some foliage together and put it on the table, and actually it's quite difficult to make it look really nice.
Yeah.
So I do think, but you're probably 9 times out of 10 going to have a florist involved because you're going to have
exactly. Yeah. So, I think if you got I would just get your florist to do it, or at least provide it.
But if we're talking decor only, you want to do it yourself, let's go down the candle route. Another really nice one for long ones is thinner cylinder vases, so not the really fat ones, the skinnier ones, and you can do them all almost in like a snake. I've done that before.
Yeah, nice.
We did all white candles in clear glass cylinder vases, snaked all the way down. Lovely. And it looked beautiful.
That's really
the
nice.
White linen, the silver cutlery, it was really clean.
It's elegant, isn't it?
Beautiful. Yeah, really, really nice. Really nice.
No, I love that.
You may also be looking at having bare tables. So a lot of people that are having long tables are like this rustic kind of barn kind of vibe. Yeah. The thing that I need to highlight with those rustic wooden tables, obviously there's a very big difference between a trestle, which has to be clothed, and a rustic wooden table. You'll see there's a price difference. The rustic wooden ones are slightly more expensive because they're more appeal.
Yeah,
they look nice.
Yeah.
And but they have slats. They're like slatted, so they have gaps.
Yes.
So you need to be really careful. You can't actually cloth them because if you put a bottle of wine down, it can spill.
So annoying.
Yeah. But on those ones, things like crystal, like anything glass looks really nice on those.
And you can have runners, obviously. I feel like underneath all of this, you can have like cheesecloth, chiffon, like loads of different runners down the table. That's another way that you can if you
elevate the look.
yeah, even if you had nothing and you just had that, and then you've got all your wine and your, you know, things like that, because that takes up space, doesn't it? At the end of the day,
all your wine if you've upgraded all your glassware,
yeah,
and
exactly,
like that, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've actually got a couple doing that this summer. They're having their flowers, you're doing their flowers, and then more overhanging the tables, and then we're just having like the white runners on the bare tables, loads of nice glassware.
Yeah,
so
lovely.
Yeah, definitely one to think about. With round tables, a lot more space to fill. But again, I would go down candle route with nice cylinder vases,
cluster
maybe
them.
using that wax,
the sand wax,
sand wax.
Yeah.
But another one I'm really loving the look of at the moment is having like something like candelabras or your cylinder vases or whatever, and then having like fruits around them.
Yes, I'm up for that. Yeah, love that. Like a little great cheeky grapefruit or pomegranate even, or grapes.
Grapes is a really popular
like where it's like
one.
lemons. Hanging over like a
lemons.
Lemons.
If you want an Italian vibe, you can have a nice like pale blue cloth with some nice white candles in cylinder vases in the centre with some lemons dotted about. Straight away, Italian vibes.
Yeah.
A nice bright blue napkin or a yellow napkin. Italian vibe straight away. Or you could change that and have like a white linen or an off-white linen, and then have loads of like cherries and plums and things like that, and you're getting that red look. You can have like your red velvet bows tied together, put on each place setting on your white napkin. Straight away you've got that like Wuthering Heights deep colour kind of vibe. A bit more black tie kind of vibe.
Yeah,
you know?
so a bit dark, bit darker, a bit more like, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so bit more. You need a bit more in the centre of a round table.
You do. There is it's difficult to fill a round. I think with you need a lot of whatever you're gonna do. You need to have it in en masse. So like candles, you're gonna need a good cluster.
Yeah, definitely. And that is, I do think, if you're going around tables, you need the flower budget. And then stationery kind of comes into it here. So, but again, people don't always think about this, but stationery is all part of your aesthetic. So your menus, your place cards, table numbers, make sure they're on a nice coloured card that matches your linen or your aesthetic.
Keeping it all cohesive so it all looks good together, and a theme runs throughout.
There's loads of bits and bobs you can also think about to put on your place setting. We've just mentioned there about having like the velvet bows tied, which are really nice, and you can buy them online already pre-tied, or you could just buy the ribbon and tie them yourselves. You can add, I quite like when you have a bit of foliage on each place
like
setting.
a little sprig of something.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. No, that's nice. Very popular to have olive, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen people have like Holmanstera leaves, cheese plant leaves.
Yeah, so cool. I've seen it done, and then people will illustrate names on them. So I actually did this for my friend's birthday because I got a little Sharpie and just went to town.
Yeah, nice. But you can add, obviously you add your stationery onto your place set. So I do really advocate having individual menus with people's names at the top instead of a place card. Yeah, that's nice. Macarons we've done before. Didn't you have that at your wedding?
No, I didn't. But it was the wedding that was at the venue I got married at where they had that, so we did it together. So yeah, that was
individual ones on each place setting. I've seen people do like I did little welcome cards on my place setting because we had a barbecue, so I didn't see the need to have individual menus. But we had little welcome cards with like a QR code to scan and add your photos.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of people lately doing like little individual notes to each guest, things like that. Like a little like memory about them. I've seen people do little photos of them and that person. I mean, this is very time consuming. If you want to DIY
well, that's it. I feel like these are really nice ways of doing it without it being tacky. Like, let's just be honest here, because
very personal. Yeah. People will love it. They will remember it. And I do think anything like this over a favour.
Oh my God, yes.
Like a macaron, anything you can eat, maybe like a nice little individual biscuit, something like that. It adds to your aesthetic. It's edible. They can take it away. Little shot bottles, like, so again, if you're going back to the Italian theme, little bottle of limoncello.
Yes, can't go wrong with limoncello.
Looks cool. Yeah. Anything like that, that is edible, people will like.
Love it.
Also, going back to you a bit about your tableware, obviously we briefly mentioned then about glassware is really important. So then that kind of is the last piece that is added to the table is the glassware. The look of glass just looks beautiful. Yeah. And you can upgrade some really nice glassware nowadays.
Yes.
And it just,
definitely
it looks good.
can.
But this is also a key one, because I have a lot of people say to me, like, oh, I don't want wine on the table. Well, back in my catering days, don't want wine on the table. I'm like, that's fine, but you still need to think about glassware. Because if you have no glassware or just one water
so
glass,
bare.
it looks bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
It really doesn't look good. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go on to some questions. We had a lot of stuff in from people. So I'm going to go through these. We might have already answered the questions on it, but we'll go through.
So first up, we got, hi both. A question for next week's decor podcast, if that's okay. Hello, we're here.
Yeah.
We're thinking of not doing charger plates as we're not sure they're necessary. Do you think a napkin directly on the table looks strange? Would a white napkin or coloured napkin look better in that scenario on a white tablecloth?
Yeah, so we've answered both those questions, I think, already.
Yeah.
We were planning on laying coloured menus on top of each napkin. Yeah, just keep with your white then.
Yeah, I would.
Anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've answered that, but yeah.
Next up, we get married in May 2026 and we have the venue for the weekend, Friday to Sunday. Nice. That means on Friday we get into the room where the wedding breakfast will be held and set up decor ourselves.
Cool.
We're having long banquet tables and a small top table, so sweetheart table. For them and their 2 boys, so a 4-person table. Just to actually check on that, because that will be 2 trestles.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
You won't fit 4 on one.
No,
trestle,
how
so
long is it going to be 2?
Quite long.
Yeah.
And then 4 on one.
That's like
on
12
2
foot,
trestles
right?
Yeah, it's quite long.
It is.
So you then need to elevate that quite a lot.
Yeah.
So just double check that. Unless one of your kids is like really small and like high chair or something. But I'd look at that because you only really want 1 trestle.
That's a good point.
But
yeah,
4 place settings is too tight. Our florist is doing meadows and the theme is lots of colour, wildflowers. Well, at least if you do a double table, top table, you can then put your meadows in front of that.
That's true. Excellent.
We're thinking about having a plain white table runner, leaving wood exposed on each side. Yeah, having colourful candles and minimal glassware. We've just gone through that. I'd have
more glassware, but the colour of candles, yes, nice one.
Yeah. And we're having sharing boards for each course. We're quite creative, but not from a styling background. So have you got any top tips on how we can elevate this and make a big impact? We have no idea if we are meant to be sorting charger plates, so there are lots of options for how to place napkins down too. Any advice would be appreciated. So, I mean, I've just said about obviously be careful with the table because it will have like the slats.
Yeah.
So be careful, but also we've just said about glassware. Definitely make sure you've got glassware because that helps. Charger plates may not fit. Depends if they're 2.5 foot or 3 foot
Yeah, and if
wide.
they're doing sharing boards as well.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, you don't want to go too much glassware, but I still think you need at least 2 or 3 per person for it to look nice. So I think we mentioned this a couple of episodes ago, but you can have like the risers that go down the center of the table, or you can just put like you have your caterer put down your platters of food down the centers, and that actually really elevates the table. And you can add like bits of like small potted plants are always really nice. They're actually a really good one for decor as well.
Yeah,
like Hayley was just saying earlier, you can plant them up yourselves now.
Yeah, especially like
pop them down
that'd
the
be
table.
really good. And if it's a spring wedding, then get a load of bulbs. Bulbs,
nice.
like with the, you can keep the roots showing, but
and succulents.
Oh yeah, I love a succulent.
I like a succulent. Yeah, so that's another good one actually for decor. But yeah, if you're going your sharing platters, I would kind of almost treat those as the decor. Have some foliage dotted around it, or like ask the caterers to add some like fruits dotted down the centers in between. That makes it
a
really
good
nice
idea.
decor
Yeah,
piece.
like get some nice colour on there if they've gone for a colourful theme.
Yeah, if you're having long tables, you ain't gonna fit charge plates and sharing boards.
No way. Yeah.
So I would not worry about it. But you don't need a huge plate with sharing. So that almost would act as your charger plate. So you don't actually need a charger plate anyway if you're doing sharing. Just get a nice plate.
Yeah,
have
that's
a
true.
napkin on the top of that plate.
Yeah.
Did they say they were doing menus? If you're not doing menus, have a coloured napkin. If you're doing menus, just have a white napkin. Yeah. That would be
They could also get coloured, if we're thinking of glassware, they could colour their glassware as well. If they're going for that kind of wildflower.
Yeah, you could do just a single coloured goblet.
Yeah.
They look fine on their own, but it's when you're just going
for like the normal clear,
just having one water glass is loses its impact a bit. But those like bulky, do you know what I mean? Like the big goblets.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I really like
really
them.
nice.
They look really cool as well on that like rustic kind of wooden table. Like with it, like if you've gone, especially if they've gone for a wildflower, because I'm imagining they've got like every colour going on there, so they could really go out there with the colour of the goblet.
do a different colour. Like I
or
did
different
at our wedding
colours, or
last
like
year. That's what we did. Yeah, wildflowers.
Yeah, that looks so cool. Coloured.
If you want a picture of that, let me know actually, and I'll ping it over to you to show how it looked. We did have tablecloths on the table, but they were like a stony colour because they didn't have like tables that are appropriate to be bare.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think you could, and just think actually, all you've got to hire in here then is that glass, potentially some nicer dining plates if your caterers aren't very nice, and like potentially a coloured napkin unless you're doing menus. So I'd say either coloured napkin or have coloured menus printed. So your hire is quite minimal there, really.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Love that.
I was hoping you could give me some advice or discuss the options of venue dressers versus florists versus caterers providing plates and glassware. We're still deciding on caterers, and they all say we can look at a hire company for plates and glass, etc. I'm a bit stuck with choosing that, as want it to look good, and I think a professional will be able to do a better job. It's a gorgeous bar and venue, and I don't want white tablecloths, as I don't think they will look as good as maybe a walnut/hessian colour. So first up, what I will say is that if you go to a tableware specific company, so we mentioned a couple earlier, they almost... like they're quite good at, if you say this is my colour scheme, this is my mood board, whatever, they're quite good at putting stuff forward.
They'll be able to
give
recommend, you the advice you need.
More than your catering company.
Yeah, 100%.
But what I would say is check with your catering company. I always check with my catering company on what hireware company they're using, because if you can hire it through the same company, you save on your delivery and collection charges. So a really good one that quite a lot of catering companies use is Allen's Hire, and they do some really nice glassware options, linen options and stuff. So if they're already hiring in ovens and whatever from this company, because also what you sometimes find is, especially with private chefs, they're already hiring cutlery. So if you're like, okay, well, what company are you getting it from? And you say, well, actually, I prefer this cutlery that's available from this company. They'll just charge a slight increase on so the difference it's going to cost them. If they're already hiring like a basic cutlery, it might cost them an extra 10p per piece to upgrade. They'll just charge you that difference. So that's always a good thing to look at. Glassware is another decision, but we have to have polycarbonate for the evening for the dance floor as per the venue. I love a thin stem glass, but the price difference is crazy. Will anyone even notice if they're a cheaper option? Will I be worried about that on my wedding day, or will I just be having the best day I can and not care? I feel like she's almost answered. I personally think it makes a difference. Yeah.
Do you think
it makes a difference?
I mean, it makes a difference for the table, but so they have to have that on.
For the evening, right? Yeah. So that was what I was going to say. I'm assuming the polycarbonate is for
just
the
for the dance floor.
So the table. Yes, the glass.
For sure, but not if you're dancing. No one's going to care. You're going to be. You're going to be having.
No one cares about that.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but for your tables, you need a nice. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the polycarbonate fine for the evening. But I wonder if they're maybe saying that they have to have that in the day as well. Surely not.
No way. Surely.
Yeah. But yeah, there's such a big difference between people who go and hire their glasses from Majestic, and they're those thick stemmed,
I know what you mean,
awful cheap looking glasses, to a really nice thin. And I don't understand why there would be a big price difference. Whenever I've hired glassware, it's not actually that much different in price. I'm literally talking a couple £100 to upgrade from a cheap basic.
I know exactly.
So I don't know what company you're looking at.
The sort of Prosecco glass that is got this short, stumpy, little fat.
You know exactly
short, little.
I wonder if the reason the price difference is because the catering company already owns cheap crap glassware.
Maybe
you've then got to hire it, so with the collection charges, it's expensive. But maybe is there someone that can pick it up for you, or just maybe look around at some other options because, we're quite lucky in Northamptonshire. We've got a company called the Budget Hire Company or something, and they do glassware.
Oh, okay.
And it's so cheap.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Oh, that's all right.
They do some really nice stuff. Yeah, they do some crap stuff and they do some really nice stuff. Also plates, just the cheapest option of plain whites look awful, or will anyone even notice? Again, if it's going on your tables, yes. If the food's just being served directly to you, then not necessarily. But again, surely your caterer, if they're hiring in, if they own it, then it is difficult. It is going to cost you more. But if they're hiring it in, they should just be able to hire something a bit more expensive and just charge you the difference. Also, tablecloths and napkins are so much cheaper on sites like Temu or Shein. Is it worth a risk? No, absolutely do not.
Do not.
Oh my God. We did an on the day management last year, and she was like, oh, and I said to her in a final meeting, you need to hire your linen, right? And I said to her, make sure you hire it. Make sure you hire it. I told her this. And then, no, she didn't listen to me, and she went off and bought it, and it was the worst linen ever. It was like that silky, not silky, but do you know what I mean? Not actually like, satin cloth.
You feel like if you even dipped it in water, it just wouldn't even soak up any water. Yeah. It's like plasticky satin.
You put a flame to that, it's like gone in a second.
Yeah.
Polyester.
Yeah.
You know, like when you buy clothes on Shein,
and they say don't go near don't go near a naked flame. It's like, okay.
That's the same with the tablecloth.
Yeah, imagine though, if you're having real naked flames as your centerpieces, and you've got all these cheap polyester stuff from China.
Well, with these tablecloths that this couple got, we couldn't even get them to stay on the tables. They were just sliding off.
Oh,
and they were see through. You could see through the tablecloth. She could see, like, you know, where there's like, you know, where like on the round tables, trestle tables, companies write on them the name of their company. You could see it through the tablecloth. Oh, yeah. So we had to like last minute go and hire tablecloths. So she ended up like double costing herself there. So no, never, ever buy. I would just say don't buy anything for your wedding off Shein.
I agree. I 100% agree with that. To be honest with you,
unless you've got a real like gem where you're like, actually,
yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
I love the idea of a venue stylist as they have a Pinterest board, but know a professional will be able to bring it to life and also help us spend the money wisely. It's very true.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much of my budget I should allow for this sort of thing. I mean, I would just go in. There's so many like decor companies, again, obviously I don't know where you are based, but that you can go into, and they already like you, but you want a decor company that does a tableware company.
Yeah.
That you can go into, you can set up the table, and they're not necessarily going to charge you for a design cost because they're already hiring you out their tableware, but they'll let you go in and see what they're... People with warehouses that you can go into and be like, oh yeah, I like that, I like
see
that.
It set up. It out.
Yeah, they don't charge you for a design fee. But yeah, I'd say that. I was considering getting my own decor on Shein or Temu, but after your podcast the other day, I've gone right off the idea. I don't want it to look shit.
Well,
yeah, same with you. As a rough idea, we want pampas grasses, nice. Rusty oranges, pink champagne colours, a rustic country and western vibe.
Love
nice.
it.
But you can get some really nice, like Varseware in like Tesco. I got a really nice.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that kind of like amber coloured glassware as well.
Yeah.
That's I tell you where I've seen that loads. Matalan.
There you go.
You know, Matalan. Like go into your high street shops and have a little look.
H&M home.
Yes. Yes.
But you can probably buy stuff off Vinted, Facebook Marketplace, where people have done that kind of thing. And then, you can get all your Pampers yourselves. I don't know if you have any tips on Pampers. With Pampers, is it treated as a flower? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I would say so. I mean, it's quite a statement on its own. It's kind of I would say it's a foliage, but it kind of acts like a flower. So there's a bit of both. But do you know what I would do? Because loads of people have them, right? You can walk down the road, and lots of people have them in their garden.
Yeah, they do.
I honestly would go and knock on, like, seriously, go and just say, like, you know. Because I know from personal experience, my nan and granddad have a huge, and I'm not joking, this plant is absolutely massive, pampas grass. I hope not. Yeah, well, maybe don't knock and say, I see your pampas grass in the window. No, but you can even post a little letter through the, you know what I mean? Like, be like, look, I'm for my wedding, and that'll save you. Can I buy some? Either buy some or like, because it can become a bit of a nuisance. My nan and granddad are always trying to cut it down because it's massive. Yeah. People might be wanting to get rid of it for nothing. Just say, look, I need it for my wedding. I'll come and cut it for you. You know, and that'll save you. That'll save you a lot of money, because I'll tell you what, pampas grass is actually not that cheap. And the thing is, when you go cheap with it, you're going to get a wisp, and that looks shit. Yeah. You need the nice big fluffy stuff, and sadly you then get a longer stem, which means it's a longer price. It's more expensive. Price. So yeah,
fine. But yeah, the rusty oranges, pink champagne, I would say, like, get the goblet glasses in the rusty oranges and stuff. Yeah, really nice. So we have got some pictures of your venue sent through. Thank you so much. We love any detail like this. Yeah. This is a really cool barn, by the way. The ceiling is cool.
God, it's so nice. I love it.
Yeah, so see what she means, like the oranges, the pampas. Yeah, nice. I think you can definitely, definitely go for like a deeper colour linen or a stone linen. White linen's not going to work with this.
No.
But no, did she say rustic wooden table? Rustic wooden tables would look really nice.
Yeah, definitely. It's just very, it's, I mean, the wood is very overpowering, like in a good way. But like, I mean, like if you went for, like you say, if you were to stick like white tablecloths on, it's going to like stick out like a sore
thumb. Yeah, and actually wooden tables, I think, wouldn't look right in this barn.
It's going to just like
too much wood. Yeah, I actually think go long tables with like a stone.
Yeah,
colour.
I agree with the stone. Yeah.
Stone colour linen, yeah.
Or like a,
and then
or you could go for like
nice
an apricot
vases down the centre. Yeah, I'd do that. That that might look nice. What you said about the orange glass.
Yeah.
I would dot them down with your. But I'd go tall. I'd go each trestle table. I'd have a tall vase, maybe like a creamy colour with pampas, and then I'd have dotted around it the smaller embery, is it
amber
tones, that's it, glass vases, and with like some maybe like just some like little flowers and stuff, or maybe some amber colour like candle holders,
and like coloured tapers. I know they've sort of, I can see here,
although if you're going amber taper holders, I wouldn't go colour. I'd go then a cream,
like an ivory
taper,
or something,
or the other way around. Just go clear cut glass holders, and then a coloured, and then like an orangey candle.
Also, if you keep your eye out for like as well, like charity shops or even like reclamation places, because you can get those really nice like brass like the brassy candle holders.
Yeah, that could work.
Something like that as well.
But then she's got to do gold cutlery.
That is
Can't
true.
do silver
that is
cutlery.
true. Although I can see here, if you look at these photos, that a lot of these have been pinned with gold cutlery. So if you're thinking of going for this, I would actually invest in having gold cutlery if you're going to switch it up.
One of your pictures, both the pictures you've got are those with the orange thingy. They're both AI images.
Are they?
Yeah.
How do you know?
You can literally tell. You know the round table one? You can literally tell like the way the candles are put on the centre.
Oh my gosh, see, this is so, see, this is why I don't trust anything now. It's difficult, isn't it? With like, for me, I don't know about you.
To give someone the idea.
You want basics. It's no different to putting a mood board together, really, is it? Like if someone says, I want to see this visually, but you can't physically get them there, then I guess, do it in AI. But I think it's difficult. Like say, for example, if someone comes to me and they're like, I've seen this, and it's like, oh, that's actually AI. You can't get that. It's annoying. Yeah.
But that picture, the last one, so the long table one where you've got the amber coloured glass with the, what are those, what is that called? You know,
the spiky thing?
Yeah.
It's a palm heart.
Palm heart, those. So you could get those, and then, so I would do one tall one with lots of pampas, and then I'll do the smaller ones exactly like that image with like, but if you're going to do those brass candle holders, you need gold cutlery. So I would avoid those, go for cut glass, so clear glass. Don't go anything gold in the middle. Just stick to that orange tone, and then creams, and then you can stick with silver cutlery to save on cost.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Unless you can afford gold.
Yeah. Cool.
I think that is everything from that one. We've just got a few others that we're going to whip through before we finish. We've got how to make things cohesive across the day. I think we've kind of touched on that.
Yeah.
Colours, mood boards.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure it's
together.
all look at everything as a whole rather than individual. I think so. When you're like picking things, you need to think of your whole wedding, like the stationery and the linen.
Yeah,
so it all ties in.
Yeah, and go into your catering. It's quite good when you go for your tasting. You tend to see all of your bits and bobs, all of your, the plates they offer, the cutlery, the glasses. So take your stationery, take your linen samples in with you to make sure it all matches.
Yeah.
Take your vases, take whatever you've got. Or if you are hiring it, go into their warehouse. Make sure you make that visit. It's important. Who normally sets the table with menus and napkins, etc.? Normally your caterer, your venue, or your coordinator. So if you haven't got any of those, like if your caterer doesn't offer doing it, if your venue doesn't offer a coordinator, you need to hire a coordinator to set those kind of bits and bobs. For sure. Big floral installations for the ceiling. Can they be real flowers or are they always faux?
So they're not always faux. Yeah. Either. I mean, to be honest with you,
I think most of the time it's real.
Yeah, a lot of the time it is real. If you're, it depends on what you're having. If you're having like a massive something that's going to be really, obviously you've got to think of the weight. So then you might use faux because obviously if you're having real flowers, it requires foam or some source of water. True. So but it can be either really. There's no.
But I do think be careful with those ceiling ones because you've either got to go. I've had people have like the hoops above the bar before, and you got to go big with it.
Yeah. Yeah,
can't just do a
I
little hoop
agree.
with a tiny bit
It
of
looks
foliage.
weird.
It looks crap.
Yeah.
Just gets
so you really
lost
need to
in
think
them.
about that, and it needs to be reflected in your budget, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Where are people hiring napkins from? We've touched on a couple. We've got like 80 events just for linen. Occasion linen hire. The other one's Northfields.
Northfields.
They send you little sample books.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
And you got all your different colours in there, and then you can take that to your tasting, match it to your bits and bobs.
Yeah, lovely.
So, yeah.
That's really good.
So there's a couple of options, but yeah, you should be if you just go online and type in like wedding table napkin hire, and also your caterer, your venue should know someone.
Yeah, they'll be able to recommend someone, I should think.
Yeah. Cool, but I hope that helps. So that's our the deep dive into decor.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
Let us know if you've got any other questions.
Perfect.
Cool. So that's it for this week, guys. We've got our This or That episode next week. So we will put that up on our Instagram story, so make sure you check there so you can vote.
Yes.
You can find us on Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a review. We're also on YouTube now, so you can watch us instead of listening to us. Make sure you emailing in your questions, your
Send us your mail.
Let's get you a podcast at gmail.com, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys. Bye.